Good morning. Well, this has been the highlight of my day so far. They're out doing drills, sea rescue drills in this wind. Other than that, it is the only thing that has happened today. I'm on my 4th day here at anchor, just waiting on this wind. So there's not an awful lot to do other than sit and watch movies. Or just now, watch this. I was watching this boat for a wee while because the guy's fishing off it, and I was waiting to see if he was catching anything, but he's not, so I'll leave my fishing rods where they are. Good morning. I think we're on day 5 now at Holyhead. And again, overnight the weather apps have changed and saying it's going to be an extra day of high winds. And I mean, in one way, it's good because it shows me that I'm getting better at picking sheltered locations and working out, what way the wind's coming from, and picking my shelters based on that and based on where the swell will be coming from. Because I'm sitting here just now and there is the lightest breeze. I mean, it's not even 5 knots. And I'm thinking to myself, what on earth are these weather apps talking about? Where's the 30 knot winds? Where's the 40 knot winds that are supposed to be here? What on earth? I could be going today. I could be making progress. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to get the binoculars out and I'm going to have a wee look first. And I looked just out behind me there. There's a big sea wall, a big breakwater at Holyhead. Just out past that, I mean, even just a quick look through the binoculars, there's big white rollers coming in. It's a completely different scenario just a mile away. So it's good in the fact that I've picked myself somewhere nice and sheltered. It's bad in the fact that I'm still stuck here, and it looks like I'm going to be stuck here for another 5 or 6 days anyway. Because there's a couple of days that the wind's supposed to gust up to 45 knots. And, I've been sitting thinking to myself, bored here, thinking, ugh, it's only gusting up to 25, it's only gusting up to 30, I could just deal with that. And now it's saying it's gusting up to 45, and I'm thinking, absolutely not. I'll just stay here. The boat isn't even rocking, there's no swell, there's a very slight breeze. I'm bored, but I'm not dealing with 40 knot winds, so it's good and bad. I mean, I like making progress, as you all know, always kind of moving forward, but I think there has to be some common sense in there. This is a 30-foot boat. She's no a super yacht. She'll no go through 40 knot winds. She's just no built for that. And I don't have the skill levels, even if she was, to be honest. I would just be endangering myself and endangering others. So the best thing I can do is sit here bored, looking at a camera, talking nonsense, and wait a few days. I managed to get off the boat yesterday. I went and done some shopping and got some exercise at least, so it's not too bad. And talking nonsense, this time has actually given me some time to think about, I keep on talking about me adding value in things, and I've been looking at what everybody else is doing, and I really like this whole kind of mixture between the sailing and a bit of information and some scenery. But what I found is it's all kind of glossed over because people are on the move constantly, and I thought, well, maybe I could go into it in more detail, go to a place, get some local knowledge. I mean, start in places that I know. For instance, the Outer Hebrides. There's places I know there that nobody ever goes to because it looks impassable. But in the right tides, you can get into some anchorages that are absolutely spectacular, and they are very, very sheltered, and you can get to land easily and things like that. So I mean, do kind of local knowledge type stuff where I go in a bit more in depth, and talk about, you know, what the bottom's like, what the access is like, where you're going to be sheltered from and things like that. I mean, I know there are a few channels that does it, but I think I'd like to go into a bit more detail, start off places that I know, and gradually build up a repertoire and build up knowledge until, you know, I've got a kind of guide type thing out for a lot of areas, certainly the Northwest Highlands, and then up as far as Orkney and Shetland and things like that. You know, just go there for a couple of days and do a scenery shot, but go there for a week and actually go really in depth and things. I think that's somewhere that I could maybe bring some value, you know, for people coming into this, like myself, you know. I mean, although I'm coming into the sailing side of things, I do have a lot of knowledge kind of from Oban right up as far as Cape Wrath, right up the Minch and the Little Minch and places like that. So I've got a fair bit of knowledge in that area. So I could maybe do a bit more in depth. Aye, and I'll also be doing the restoration videos on this. Aye, I think that's the way I'm going to head. But I'm not wanting to waffle too much. I don't have any sailing content, and I'm actually only in the cockpit just now because it's a break between the rain. So I'm not going to waffle too much. Well, this is me here a week now, and it's gusting harder than it's gusted all week. It's apparently got up to 45 knots today, so aye, it's definitely no sailing weather for me. But apparently, I'm just going to duck down out the wind here. Apparently on Sunday there's going to be a weather window, so hopefully I'll get across the Irish Sea, past the Isle of Man and up to the Mull of Kintyre area. Aye, so there's not very much content in this. I wasn't even going to put a video up today, but I didn't want people worrying that I'd had an accident or something, and you know, that I just wasn't contacting anybody. I mean, everything's okay other than the fact that I've been cooped up in this wee boat for a week with not a lot to do, and it's been really windy. As you can see from the pegs, I've got a lot of washing done in the last week, which is good. But I've not got an awful lot done other than that. I've got some supplies in, I've got petrol in, so I'm stocked up with petrol and things just ready to go. As I said, hopefully on Sunday the weather will be okay, and aye, it's going to be a long sail. It'll be about 85 miles, so it'll be a long old day. I might leave here, looking at the current and things, I might leave here just before daylight, and that'll give me the maximum amount of sail time on the other side, so that I can get into this wee anchorage and get anchored up ready to go for the next day. Anyway, I'm sorry there's not more content. As I said, I wasn't even going to put a video up, but I didn't want people worrying and things, so aye. Thank you very much for watching. If you wouldn't mind, like, share and subscribe what little I have put up today. Aye, thank you and take care. I'll see you next time.